All right, welcome to Juiced Up the Hard Way. We're your hosts. I'm Jake Juiced Up Accardo, joined by B LIVITY from the podcast 3 the Hard Way. B LIVITY! What's up, bro? Shaka
Yes,
ups, man.
sir.
Yes, sir. So we're here. We got a great show for you tonight. We're gonna do NFL, of course, at the top. We're actually going to go over a boxing match. That's going to be a good one, I think. It's Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. So we're going to talk about that fight, get B LIVITY's insight on this match. It's one of the first big fight of 2026. So we're stoked to see this one and talk about it. And we're going to dive. We're going to dive into a little NBA. We're going to box out. We're going to bows out. And we're going to talk about a little NBA. Little Genie Buzz. Giannis is unhappy. We're going to see what happens with that. And then at the end of the show, it's the Juiced Up Takes. All right, so like I was saying, we're going to do the NFL recap. We had our last playoff games of the year. It's bittersweet. It was the conference championships. We had the Pats at the Broncos. We had the Rams at the Seahawks. Both were decent games. I would say this NFC game was probably the better of the two. But so we had the Pats going into the Broncos. Of course, we talked about the Broncos having Stedham at quarterback. He played pretty well. Of course, he had a couple we're talking about don't be a hero. He had a couple hero plays that were unfortunate, kind of turned the tide of the game. There was also the big fourth down call that if you watch the game, you know Broncos have all the momentum. They're up 7-0. The field is dry, no snow yet. Their defense is smacking Patriots around. You kick the field goal, you go up 10-0. I kind of see where Sean Payton wanted to go with that. He probably wanted to go 14-0. We're going to win this game if it's 14-0. That's probably what he was thinking in the back of his mind. But at the end of the day, I think you go for the 3 at home, playing a playoff team. And so that was kind of the tide that turned the game. Stadium had that bad fumble where it looked like it was a pass, but then they said it wasn't. Blocked field goal on Lutz. He also missed a field goal at the end of the half. So the Broncos didn't play the cleanest game that you probably need to play when you have a backup in a championship situation. It was unfortunate. I was pretty upset. Like, I felt like I wanted the Patriots to lose so bad, B LIVITY, that I was pissed when they were making these mistakes. Like, I felt like a temporary Bronco fan for the day. So, you being a Bronco fan and also having to put your feelings aside about the game. What did you think of the game? And overall, how did you think Stedham actually played? I didn't think he played a horrible game. He actually outplayed May. So how do you think? What do you take from the game in Stedham and Sean Payton kind of blowing the game in his own right?
Yeah, minus the turnovers and the inclement weather in the second half, with the interception. I think he played a good game, like you said. He outplayed the guy that's up for MVP right now, and Drake May. He definitely outplayed him. Other than that, Drake May he had a couple of good runs in the game that kept the New England drives going. I think one of the turnovers was kind of costly because it actually led to New England 7 points to their touchdown.
Yeah.
So that was kind of harmful. As far as the 4th-and-1 play, I'm actually not upset with it. I'm more upset about the play call itself.
The play call was
and execution.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually had ran that play previously to score the touchdown. It was the same play that they had through the touchdown.
Okay.
And then, you got I can't think of his name, number 77. He whipped on the fucking block and let the guy fucking right through. So you're not going to get, you're not going to beat the Patriots on the same play. You beat them once on it, they're probably going to recoup and, get that back and be looking out for it the second time. So I think you've got to call your best call when you're going with that kind of stuff. But I'm not mad at the 4th-and-1 call.
Yeah.
It actually came down to more than just one play. Like you said, the missed field goals as well. The missed field goal by Will Lutz, the block.
Yeah.
He's actually saying he misjudged his walk up, as far as everything. So I'm like,
I think I heard something too. He said they might have been too close to the center because they couldn't see the lines.
Yeah, like I think it should have been 7 yards or something like that. The way it was something weird he was saying.
You better get over there and count your steps.
Yeah, you're a stooge, man.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want his ass back like that year doing that kind of shit, though.
Yeah, where's good old Matt Prater?
Attention to detail. That's all you got to do.
Right.
Attention to detail. You only got one job, kicker.
Right. But I do feel like, though, I know you're kind of all in for that 4th down. Not all in, but you didn't mind the call. But I feel like that kind of was like a momentum swinger. You guys had all the momentum. You go up 10-0, kick the ball, kick it off, make them drive down the field again. And I feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know about these fourth down calls. We'll get into the Patriots game.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and it's just not with the Broncos. We've been seeing it all postseason with these coaches doing that shit. And it's not even on statistical analysis. They're just going off of hunches right now.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
analytics would have told you not to take that, take that fourth down chance. Even though I understand he was doing,
yeah,
knowing the inclement weather was coming, like I was saying, you just got to have the right call for that moment.
yeah. I think definitely. Yeah, I
And
don't.
if you
Yeah,
and, and you ran the call previously, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, so it was something they could look out and key off on already.
yeah,
And the O lineman didn't help at all on that situation as far as letting the guy right through, even though
yeah.
they were pressuring it already.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the call,
Okay.
as far as going on the 4th and 1 and being aggressive.
Yeah, I think I'm still. I think with these fourth down calls, I'm still what you would call a traditionalist, where you get the points and you play defense. So I think in that sense, I'm still a little more of a traditionalist, and I think the 3 points isn't always the worst case scenario, especially early in a game like that. And Sean Payne, he had to, with the backup quarterback, he also had to call a perfect game, and he made some bonehead
Yeah.
play. He made some bonehead calls. And it really what surprised me
Yeah,
was
the screen passes
he
and all
did way
that.
too
Like
many screen
I'm
passes.
not feeling it.
Way too many
Yeah,
screen passes.
yeah.
Maybe fake a screen and throw a receiver deep to throw off the defense, maybe. And then trying to throw that deep ball in the snow. Instead, I'm really underthrew that one to Gonzalez. That was like, just throwing three flies up like a straight lollipop out there when he caught that pick. So that was kind of
Yeah.
a bad play.
But you're actually correct. I mean, you go up 2 scores. It's still a 2-score game, man. So you definitely gotta do what's best, considering they knew what was going to happen with the weather in the second
Yeah.
half, or they knew a storm was approaching. So
Yeah. And
I definitely understand you.
it kind of fits Sean Payton well though, because he comes off like a cocky, arrogant prick to me sometimes in his press
He
conferences. So
is.
it's like, humble yourself,
He is.
motherfucker.
And I mean, the thing is, we don't necessarily have the same personnel that he had in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He had Jimmy Graham and Marcus Colston,
Yeah.
two-headed monster, and Reggie Bush and Deuce McAllister. Like,
Oh yeah.
we
Yeah.
don't have that kind of personnel right now, other than
Sutton,
I
really.
can't think of his freaking name. I don't know why Sutton.
Yeah.
Sutton is like our main consistent guy.
Sutton,
Our running
yeah.
game wasn't there with J.K. Dobbins. He would have been back for the Super Bowl had he.
Oh, okay. I thought he was
had
supposed to
we
be
won the
back.
game.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was practicing. He was fully participant in practice, but he's like he would have been ready to go as far as Super Bowl, but not
Oh,
this
okay.
week.
Oh, gotcha.
And yeah, the run game actually hurt us not having that there.
Yeah. And I think I think also now Russell Wilson's his money's coming off the books now, so that gives you guys more money towards the salary cap, so you can start getting some better players. I think your defense is great. I don't know if you have any free agents on that end of the ball coming up, but I definitely think a receiver, a young receiver, a young running back, I think that'll go a little ways. I know they got that little Jordan Humphrey guy or whatever, so I don't know how good he is. Mims seems pretty solid. Harvey's a good switch up back, good change of pace guy. So you guys got a good nucleus for having to build around that Russell Wilson cloud hanging over your guys' head. So once that's released now, I think you guys are going to look good. I think the AFC West is going to be tough. It's going to be tough now. The AFC West, it's going to be real tough.
Oh yeah, definitely with the Charger signings, which we'll talk about later in the week. But with their new OC, I hate that one. That would hurt my soul right there. I'm like, I do not want to deal with him twice a year.
Yeah,
I don't.
I hope he works out, and later on this week we are going to do a special NFL coaches episode, just to go over all the coaching hires, coaching firings. And we'll be dropping that later this week, as B. Livity mentioned as well. All right, let's jump into the Seahawks. Oh, did you need to top that off with anything, B. Livity, or can we move on to the Rams?
No, we're good.
Okay, Rams-Seahawks game. I think I was texting you before and telling you, like, this is pretty much the Super Bowl right here. This is going to be the best game. And it turned out to be a really good game. Rams were not able to play any defense. They couldn't get a stop to save their life. And so it came down to another fourth down call with about 5 minutes left in the fourth. Sean McVay decided to go for it instead of kicking a field goal. He's kind of catching a little flack for that now, but I think he kind of had a sense like, my defense is not going to stop these guys. So
they doing shit.
Yeah. So they ended up going for it. They didn't get it. They ended up losing the game. Sam Darnold, he played the game of his life. Like, that was like a Disney movie like scripted story. Like this guy had no turnovers, no goofy plays, was just hitting JSN whenever he wanted to. They were using Bobo even. They got their tight end involved. Kenneth Walker looked pretty fresh, even though they didn't have Charbonnet. So I felt like that game was a really good game. Unfortunate Matt Stafford didn't get it, but I am looking forward to hopefully the Seahawks shit kicking these guys, and we'll dive into the Super Bowl next week since we still have another week of that. But I'm really hoping that the Seahawks just really shit stomp these guys to death. What did you think of the game, B. Livity, of the Rams and Seahawks?
Funny thing is, both of the top two MVP candidates got outplayed this week
Yep.
By guys that weren't expected to do it. I was saying my one thing that I was concerned was about Darnold being the Darnold. And he proved me wrong. He lived up to the big moment this game. He outplayed Stafford. Almost threw for 400 yards. He his completion percentage was up there. He just made a lot of good plays, man.
Yeah.
I kind of knew it was going to be close. You played the team 3 times in one season. You guys got each other's number. There's no surprises. There's nothing new coming out there. So, but I told you the one thing I didn't trust this whole season with the Rams was their defense. Yep. And I knew it was going to come down to that. I trusted the Seahawks defense more than the Rams, even though they have a pretty good pass rush, with Verse. But, that secondary, which proved to be
sketchy.
Their downfall.
And I'm glad you said that. So to piggyback off that, that's what I was going to get into next. During free agency and the draft, they got to clean up the back end of their They got to clean up their secondary. They're a little undersized. That Kobe, I think it's Kobe Durant, number 14. He's on the smaller side for a DB. He even looks small compared to JSN, and JSN's not even that big of a receiver.
Not that big, yeah.
So they got to get a little more length at the corner position, kind of like the Seahawks. They got that Woolen guy, I think his name is, or Wooten or whatever. They got some guys that are long, long wingspans, taller guys, so they can play some good man coverage. They can lock you down, and I think it's going to be a good game. If I'm a betting man, I'm taking the Seahawks. I'm taking the under. I don't see New England scoring a lot of points. Drake May does not impress me. He did do some big runs against you guys, which I was kind of surprised that Coach Joseph didn't make some adjustments to those runs.
Have a spy on him. Yeah.
Something. So, So, I think hopefully the Super Bowl is a decent game, maybe, just to keep you entertained. But I'm planning on getting boozed up and not even really watching it. So that's kind of where my mentality is right now. All right. Did you want to top that game off, B. Liberty, or can we move on to this boxing match? Because I'm actually pretty excited to talk some boxing with you.
I was just surprised that the Rams still had a chance at the end. Puka's able to get out of bounds. What we're saying. He got up there. I think they had got to the 50.
Yeah.
And Puka gets out of bounds. We don't know what's happening.
Okay,
man. So,
I need a 30. I need a 30. I need a 30-second take. Where does Puka rank as a receiver? Is he a top receiver in the NFL? Or where do you have him? He's not better than Chase, but he has better attributes than Chase. I feel like he can do a lot more than Jamar Chase.
I put him in the top 3.
Okay.
He's top 3 receiver for me.
So we got Chase.
And
I'm guessing Chase.
Chase. I got Puka, and I'm trying to think who I would go for my third.
There's a lot of good receivers nowadays. You really got to think about it.
I can't say Jefferson right now just because he doesn't have the quarterback with him. But he's definitely top 3 receiver for me.
Yeah, okay, cool. I wanted to get your take on that because I love Puka. I think Puka's great. He's obviously slow, but he gets open, he blocks. So I just wanted to hear your take on that really quick. All right, let's jump into this boxing match. I did a little research. I did a little reading. Got me excited about some boxing, I got the gloves right over the shoulder right here. All right, so we got Teo. Is it Teofimo? Is that how we say it? Teofimo?
Teofimo Lopez.
Teofimo Lopez, and he's going to be defending his belt against Shakur Stevenson. Both gentlemen are coming. Teofimo weight, he usually comes in about 139.5. They got Stevenson about 135. They're going to be fighting for the 140 WBO ring championship belt that is held by Lopez right now. And they both have the nickname for Lopez is the Takeover. Shakur goes by the Fearless. The height event, there's no height advantage. They're both 5'8", exactly same centimeters and everything. Teofimo goes with the orthodox stance of right-handed, left hand in the front, so he's throwing his jabs with the left. And then we got Shakur Stevenson coming in at the southpaw. So he's coming in with the right hand jab, and he's coming with the straight lefts. So that's going to be interesting. Stevenson also has a 24-0 record. Reach is 68 inches. Teofimo's coming in with the 22-1 record. His reach is 68.5. So not a lot on the physicality stuff. They're pretty equal, I feel like. And then they're also going to be fighting in a ring that's 6 inches smaller. So they're closing in the ring. They're going to make it a little bit tighter, so you can't be moving, you can't be running as much. There's going to be a little more back to the ropes, I'm guessing. Stevenson's been looking for a big fight. He's been calling out top fighters, Tank, other guys like that. That he's according to him, they've been ducking him. I don't know if that's true. B Liberty can weigh in on that. And Teal always wants to go for the best fighters. So I feel like this is a match made in heaven. I'm actually looking forward to watching it. It's going to be on DAZN app. If you guys have that, or you got to watch a bootleg, whatever you got to do, you got to do. So who do you now, me not really knowing about boxing, both guys kind of still have a pretty, it's 24 and 22 fights. Is that a lot of records to be holding belts? It seems pretty kind of like still in the newish stages of their career. So with them having these records only in the 20s, are they still pretty new fighters? Or tell me about their background for these guys.
They're both been multi-division titleists. Teofimo's been titleist in 2 divisions. Shakur, I want to say 3. This would be his 4th.
Okay.
He's actually moving up from 135 to fight Teofimo.
Yes, I think he's going to be vacating his belt to do this fight, right?
No. He's actually holding on to the belt, and he's planning on moving back down after. But, like I said, this is like the biggest money fight for him, the biggest fight he can have right now with Teofimo. So, he stepped up.
Okay.
He could get Tank at 135 or anybody else, with a name down there. So, this is the biggest thing for him.
Okay.
Like I said, Shakur, this will be his 4th division. And, if he wins this ring belt, that means he's the king. In a 140, that's the biggest belt there is. That means you're number 1. Nuno.
And they got some good fighters in that weight class too. They still got some good fighters.
Yeah, 140 is deep as hell. 140 is deep as hell. So I could see why he's probably going back down. He's actually a natural 135 pounder. Like he hasn't really filled out his frame for 140. But there would be a lot of stiff competition at 140 for him, which I kind of feel like Teofimo's been ducking the other champions personally. Because there's some guys that would knock his block off that I don't think he really wants to see. I kind of feel like Shakur. Okay. Shakur's been kind of labeled as a feather-fisted fighter. He's had hand problems. He doesn't have a lot of knockouts.
Okay.
And I kind of think like Teofimo, this is kind of like a safe fight for him, even though Shakur is like Floyd Mayweather type of skills as far as elusiveness, the defense. He's real slippery and slick in there. Doesn't get hit a lot. He's probably a little bit more offensive than Floyd Mayweather was during his Money Mayweather stage.
Yeah.
But I kind of look for in this fight. I think I see Shakur. They're going to be at mid distance for the most part. Teofimo's going to have to pressure him, which isn't part of his game.
Okay.
He usually looks pretty terrible against boxers and guys that know how to use the ring.
Okay.
And Shakur is a master of distance. That's one thing he's known for, is being a master of distance.
All right.
When Teofimo has to press, he doesn't look good. He doesn't look good against boxers.
So it sounds like the smaller ring is a disadvantage for Lopez. Then is that what it's? That's what you're making it sound like.
No, it should be an advantage for him actually, because it's less space for Shakur to move around the ring.
Oh, okay.
Because Shakur could go either way. He can move both sides laterally, but the smaller ring is going to give Lopez's chances to cut off the ring, which is not something he generally does. He's more of a guy that's a counter puncher unless his opponents come to him, which isn't Shakur's game.
Gotcha.
So there is a chance that this could be a boring fight, just based on this not being Teofimo's style of coming forward and pressing.
So
he's definitely going to take his chances.
Got you. Okay, so what you're saying is Lopez is going to have to bring the fight, which he usually waits for the fight to get brought to him because he's a counter puncher.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got you. Okay,
yeah.
I got you now. And so you did mention the knockouts. Shakur does only have 11 out of the 24 fights. Almost 50% of his fights were KOs. And then Teofimo has 13 KOs on his record, and he's 22-1. So has he had experience fighting unorthodox fighters, or what's his experience fighting southpaws if he has had any that you know of?
Probably biggest one would be against Vasyl Lomachenko, who was probably the top guy at 135 for a while.
Okay.
A Ukrainian guy. He won that fight barely. Lomachenko didn't throw any punches for like the first 6 rounds. But the second half of the fight, he teed off on Lopez, but he was able to take away some of the things that Lomachenko does well early on in the fight, such as turning. Loma is good master of angles, like Pacquiao, as far as being able to turn fighters.
Okay.
But that was probably the biggest one he fought as far as a southpaw, and Lomachenko was a top top pound for pound guy at the time.
Yeah.
So that was actually an upset for him.
Okay. Okay, so that's. I mean, I think this is going to be a good fight. How do they get to like whose idea do you think it was to make the ring smaller? You think it was Lopez's camp, or do you think it was
No,
Stevenson's camp? Like, who
actually the
decides this kind of stuff?
Turkey Ali Sheik. That's the guy that's financing the fight
Oh, that
from
Saudi
Saudi
fool they always see in the
Arabia.
background of every
Yeah,
fucking fight.
yeah, yeah. He's the one that's financing the fight, and he wanted less running. He calls it running. Chicken style, I guess. I forgot what he titled it, but
Oh,
he
okay,
likes, he wants to see. He got tired of people running essentially,
okay.
so it's been his idea to make the ring smaller, and of
Oh,
course that's one of their concessions for the money they're getting.
okay.
He's paying top dollar for these fights.
So if this fucking Saudi guy, right, he comes to your camp, right? Let's say you're in like Stevenson's camp, right? And he's like, "Hey man, I want to fucking I want to make the ring smaller." I'm asking for more money. Then are you asking for more money? Like if you want
Yeah,
these special requests, I need an extra 200K on top. Then my guy, like,
yeah. I mean, they're both probably making upwards of 10 mil for this fight. So I
nice,
mean, this will be by far both of their biggest paydays.
nice,
Turkey definitely pays his guys,
yeah.
so I'll give him that.
So is this
He's
guy like
actually
a
behind.
is he a promoter? Well,
He's
who is
actually.
this guy?
I don't want to say he's a promoter, but he's actually behind Dana White's venture with the Zuffa boxing right now.
Yeah, because he was there at the Crawford fight too.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got his hands in a lot of things right now. He's not necessarily a promoter. I just say he's kind of like a financier,
Okay.
for guys, for the promoters that are putting on fights. Like he works with
Oh, okay.
Matchroom Box, which is ran by Eddie Hearn.
Okay.
He has fighters. He pretty much contracts fighters from other promoters.
Okay. I just miss the good old days of this shady ass Don King out there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what
I mean,
happened?
we
What happened
might
to
see
De La
that
Hoya
again. We might see
Promotions?
that again. Yeah,
Don King was
stealing
a
from all of
shady.
his fighters.
Yeah. What did like Tyson call him like a lizard reptilian motherfucker or something like that? Yeah, that guy was pretty
Yeah.
brutal. So okay, so I didn't know if you said it or not. Who do you got in the fight then, and when's it going to end, and how's it going to end? What are you expecting?
In my mind, I'm expecting a UD for Shakur. Probably like 8-4, 7-5 ish
Okay,
as far as rounds.
all right. So you're going with Shakur in the eighth round, or is it going to go to the
No,
cards?
it's gonna. No, I think he's gonna win 8 rounds to 4 or
Oh, okay.
7 rounds
Oh,
to
gotcha.
5. But I
Okay,
think it's gonna be,
okay.
yeah, it's gonna be unanimous
All
decision.
right. Well,
If anybody has a chance at a knockout, it's probably
Lopez.
Tiafimo, but his power hasn't really translated to 140, so I
Okay.
don't see him knocking out Shakur either.
Well, just to make the show interesting, I'm gonna go with Lopez. I don't know shit about him. I don't know shit about Stevenson, but just to make the show interesting, I'm gonna go with Lopez.
Yeah,
I'll
I
go
mean,
Lopez on
if
the
he
cards.
wins, you'll be the genius. If he
I'm
wins, you'll be a genius. You'll be a genius.
going Lopez on the cards, winning 10 rounds to I don't know, 8 rounds to
10
4, I
rounds to
guess.
2? Okay.
I don't know. All right, let's move on. So that's on. That's this Saturday. It's going to be on DAZN. Make sure you guys check it out. That's Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. They're going for Lopez's WBO and ring. They call them straps now, right? Straps. I'm taking his strap. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going for the strap, right? Gotta get strapped
Strap
up.
season.
Gotta get strapped up. Okay. I'm catching on to the boxing. So you got me into boxing now. So I gotta get caught up with the lingo and everything. So next up, we're gonna switch over to some NBA news. We had a couple main headlines going on with the NBA. All-Star breaks coming up soon also. So last week we had talked about on our Juiced Up take Rich Paul's comments. He's LeBron's agent about trading Austin Reeves. So here we come back again with another story involving LeBron, of course. And recently there was an article released on ESPN in regards to a backstory of Jeannie Buss, how they sold the Lakers. She kind of swept the rug from under all of her siblings, sold the team, made sure she stayed on as like the governor, basically calling all the shots. And then also involved in that story was her being quoted saying that at one point, I think a couple of years ago, she was getting sick of LeBron, his ego, his his kind of like what do you call it? Like just being like
Being a
being a
diva.
diva. Thank you, being a diva. I couldn't think of it. And then also him not being thankful for them drafting Bronny, which I had also brought up before. So it just kind of goes hand in hand with LeBron. He just kind of just wears people down. I feel like he wears the fans down. He wears his head coaches down. He wears his teammates down. And Russell Westbrook doesn't like the guy anymore. And they traded Russell Westbrook because he wanted him there, and they ended up having to get rid of him because they weren't getting along or playing well together. So now that West calls this guy, he says he's fake as fuck. So it's just kind of funny how LeBron just wears everybody down. I hope this is his last year at the Lakers. I hope he just goes on to one more team, tries to get his little title or do his farewell tour and just disappear. Please, just disappear. But I thought the story was just kind of interesting and just kind of seeing how you got to do damage control now for Jeannie Buss's camp, because it's like you're probably fake as fuck to this guy to his face, like acting like you love him, but then you really just can't stand his ass. So I thought it was a funny story. A lot of damage control. LeBron came out kind of trying to brush it off, but that guy is sensitive. Everything bothers him. What do you think of this article and this kind of Jeannie Buss is basically saying she's fed up with LeBron?
I mean, it doesn't catch you by surprise. I mean, this happened with the Cavaliers. It's happened with the Heat. As far as with Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cavs, he hated Bron for a while. Everybody hated his decision, the announcement, the way he did it.
Right.
Yeah, Pat Riley got tired of him in fucking Miami trying to run things. Mm-hmm. And I guess Jeannie Buss has been the one that's actually caved in to most of his demands, because Pat Riley wasn't going for that shit with the Heat. She's made statements since then saying that it's not necessarily LeBron's fault for being in the middle of her sibling stuff, and like the Lakers pretty much were. I mean, they weren't looking too good until he got there, even though I don't make much of their bubble championship. But, they weren't even making the playoffs.
Yeah.
But that was also... At least he's got them back in.
Okay. See, people have said that too. And at the same time, as Magic Johnson made some fucking bonehead stop. He made some bonehead decisions when he was their president or whatever he was. He drafted Lonzo Ball when he could have drafted De'Aaron Fox. He traded Zubik, the center for the Clippers now, for a bag of pennies. And it's like this guy made so many bad moves. The only good move he did was get LeBron. And LeBron's wearing through like how many coaches now? He's on JJ Redick. He was on Marvin Ham. I think they had the coach that won the championship, the white guy with the big nose, Vogel, I think his name was.
Vogel.
So this guy's already been through 3 coaches in his tenure with the Lakers. And he's probably going to go through one more because they're probably going to get rid of JJ, who was his podcast buddy. Yeah. But like, I don't know, man. I can't stand this guy. I can't fucking stand this guy.
I mean, as far as the reports, it does feel like he has too much control. I mean, that whole shit is ran by Clutch. Even the clientele, as far as Anthony Davis being there, they did win that bubble ring with them there. But the whole thing with Rich Paul, LeBron handpicking JJ Redick, and you see some of their interactions on the sideline this season where LeBron was checked out of it and he's sitting on the end of the bench not even listening. This is the guy that you handpicked to come in. So I'm just like, that stuff's got to wear on you.
Yeah.
And like I said, the whole suggestion about them getting rid of AR-15 when he's one of your young gunners, you got to be planning for the future.
Yeah.
LeBron's not going to be there forever, even though he's still playing good at a high caliber level. But it's just too much diva shit, I think the fans and the public are kind of tired of it and kind of want him to go away as well, even though he's still playing at a high level. But like, it's just too much drama. Drama behind his name.
What game he sat? He was like sitting out one game and he brought a glass of wine with him to the fucking bench. Like not even like a cool drink, like a Jack and Coke. This one brought a fucking glass of wine to the bench on a basketball game. Like, come on, man. Like, give me a break, man. You're too much, dude. Yeah, you're too much.
And I know you're a Laker fan, so I mean, if you're tired of it, it's definitely got to be something.
I mean, at this point with the NBA, how many good players there are? It's hard to be a fan of just one team because I like a lot of players too. There's some good players in the NBA right now. So let's jump into Giannis now. Giannis Antetokounmpo. During the offseason, there was a lot of rumors that he might get traded. He might want to trade or request a trade. Nothing ever came out. He was quoted about a month ago saying, he wants to be in Milwaukee. He wants to stay there. Now, his body language, the way he's kind of, the way he's not as in sync with the team. He's talking about guys don't listen. They don't want to listen to vets. Guys are just kind of doing whatever they want to do. Kind of sounds like he might be on his way out of the Bucks. I don't know how much NBA you've caught. I've only caught a little bit right now, but a lot of people are talking about you should try to go to the Knicks. The thing is, when you trade for players like this, you're giving up a lot, too. You're going to have to give up 2 or 3 players, some draft picks. So it does affect the roster and the depth of your roster if you do go for a guy like this. Now, with that being said, where do you think would be a good landing spot for Giannis right now?
I mean, the way the Knicks are looking recently, it doesn't sound like a bad trade. that they were expected to run away with the East right now, and Detroit is looking like the top team in the East right now. This was supposed to be New York's year, especially after what they did last season with Indiana hurt. Boston's hurt. This was supposed to be a clear run for the Knicks. With everybody coming back.
Yeah.
And they've been looking like trash recently.
Yeah, I think Toronto's past them now. I think Boston's past them now. So they're definitely they went on a little bad losing streak right now.
Yeah, so I mean it's not looking like a bad move now. Especially get rid of Cat's ass.
Exactly. So you probably got to give up Cat. You probably got to give up another starter,
Anobi or something like that,
like Mitchell Robinson or somebody, and probably like a draft pick. I don't think it's a bad move if you're trying to go all in.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is that this is what I hate most about you. I won't say I hate it, but it's just like I don't know if it's a pride thing or just a loyalty thing to where I think he really does want to write it out with the Bucks. He won't come out and say he's ready to go, even though his body language is giving that off.
I don't think he wants to be the villain either. He don't want to be the
so
villain.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like Milwaukee can be mad at him even if he did. He brought you guys a fucking championship. But I mean, it's not a big destination where you're going to get free agents coming there even to play with Giannis.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting a lot of people coming to that organization.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would take a lot. I think it's time for them to blow that up because you're not going to get the pieces he needs for them to be contenders.
Yeah. You might as well blow it up. Go try to find another young talent to build around like you did with Giannis. He did get you your ring. You got your chip, so it wasn't all bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to get a AJ DeBonsta in the draft, or one of Boozer's little boys.
Yeah.
That's playing at Duke.
Oh yeah. His son's doing really well now. I think he's getting like 30 a game or something like that. Like some ridiculous numbers.
I think it's Cam. I'm not which one. I think it's Cam Boozer. I'm not sure what it is with the twins, but he's out there killing it. Dude from BYU, DeBonsta.
Yeah.
If you blow it up now, you'll be in the lottery and be able to get one of them. Might get somebody to supplement them because I damn sure don't think they're gonna let the Bonster go to Utah.
Yeah. Dude, we're getting old, man. Like we're watching dudes as kids now play. I was telling my wife that the other day when I was
Ron Harper's son is playing. Like both of them, like shit.
I was watching the game.
Both of his sons.
Oh, I think it was the Steelers-Texans game, and it was Joey Porter's son was out there.
Joey Porter Jr.?
Yeah, and I was like, I used to watch this guy's dad play. They used to call him Peasy, and he was pretty beasty. Like, he was pretty good. And I was like, damn,
Chargers Chargers had a Sonny Samuel Jr.?
Yeah, like, dude, we're getting up there. Like, I don't even feel that old, but, man, these guys – and then, like, McCaffrey's kids out there. Ed's kids, Christian is out there playing. Like, it's pretty wild to see, other generations.
They're super duper veterans now, which is crazy. Like, they're not young in the league.
Like, we're going to be, 60 watching their kids playing ball. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty wild to think that. So, did you want to top that one off, Be Liberty, or are we all good to move on to our juiced up take?
No, we're good to go.
All right. So, at the end of the show, it's the juiced up takes. All right, we got one good juiced up take for you. I was trying to keep it light, you know what I mean? I came across this story on US Weekly. Of course, it's out in Florida because all the wild shit happens in Florida, Be Liberty. All the wild shit. Yeah. Teachers banging students, dudes wrestling alligators, all that shit. So it's always Florida. Florida's a wild place. Anyway, so this Florida teen, she's 18 years old, comes home drunk, drinking out here underage, day drinking in Florida, all that humidity, that sun just beating on your ass. Comes home, starts arguing with the mom, slaps the mom, and then also throws a pork chop at her mom. And her mom had pork chop residue on her shoulder. So what's the world coming to when we're just wasting good food like that? Good old mama made you a good old pork chop and just go throw it at her and slap her in the face. Like, was it that bad? Like, come on, girl. So I just thought it was a funny story. Mom got smacked by the kid and the pork chop. It just kind of sums up where society is these days. Kids slapping their moms, coming home drunk at 18. Just being disrespectful. If I was getting drunk at 18, I ain't going home. That's for sure. I am not going to the pad. That is the last place I'm going if I'm drunk. So I just thought it was a funny story. What do you think of society now and just kind of kids wilding out like this on their parents and how the discipline is just different from when we grew up?
Yeah, I mean it definitely wouldn't happen in my house. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Shit, I was scared of my mom. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, I was happy to get a pork chop. Yeah. Oh, pork chops, hell yeah. Where's the applesauce? What's good?
But But I was looking at, the I guess the ramifications where she, give her ass some time.
Oh yeah, I saw that. She get like a year in jail or
I would.
something.
Yeah, like
I'm pressing charges.
Give her 6 months just for disrespecting the mom.
Yeah.
Just for that alone.
Your mama vacation.
Her bail was only $2,500, but shit, I wouldn't have put shit up for her at all. You
better go start a GoFundMe, bitch.
Yeah, get whoever was getting you drunk. You know what I'm saying? Let them
exactly. That shit. What do you think she was? Like an 18-year-old girl coming home faded like that. What do you think she's drinking? Some fucking Trulies? What do you think? Some White Claws?
It gotta be a beer, some beers, or some Buzz Balls.
Buzz Balls. so fucking, what's the other one? The red one? I can't think of it. The shot. Oh man, I cannot think of it. My uncle's always drinking, but yeah, I can't. It's just Buzz Balls. That's comedy. So that's our juiced up take for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the content. Next week we'll go into the Super Bowl. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. We'll go over the Shakur Stevenson Teofimo Lopez fight. Any other NBA news that's there to cover, we'll cover that. But we're definitely going to talk about the Super Bowl. We'll be dropping another episode also this week, especially about NFL coaches. Coaches firing, coaches hiring, who we like, who we think is going to make a difference. So a lot of coaching moves being made already right here at the end of the year. There's still a couple head coaching spots opened up. So we'll see how that goes from there. B. Livy, you got anything to close out the show tonight?
No, man. I think there's been a lot of misses, as far as the coaching changes. But, like you said, we'll get into that on our next show.
All right, man.
But, yeah, it's been a lot of whiffs.
Yeah, there's some reaches right now. There's a lot of teams reaching, for sure. For sure. All right, everybody. Everybody have a good night. Be living. You have a good night, man. I enjoyed the show today. I'm looking forward to dropping some new content in the near future here. Everybody have a good night. Peace.